Okay, guys, gonna do a little ad nauseam in modern. Same deck list as before. Only changes, and I just made it. I took out one Ethereal Haze and the one Esper Charm for 2 sudden shocks, simply for the Infect matchup. Esper Charm did not do me that well. 2 Hazes seems right. 3 only feels good in a couple of matches, so I'm cool with that. Last time we played, I 0-5'd, first time ever with Ad Nauseam 0-5ing. Great, we caught that on stream. Since then, which was last week, I played 3 leagues. I 3-2'd twice and I 4-1'd earlier today. And I don't stream those because I play them like a game at a time when I have free time. But there you'll see my last one was a 4-1. I lost to Merfolk, which is weird. It's a good matchup. Sometimes you just don't do well against it. He had 3 Curse Catchers and then viled a Phantasmal Image to make a 4th Curse Catcher. So Curse Catcher is usually not a big deal against Ad Nauseam, but when you have 4 of them, And then I beat Merfolk, and then I beat the Mono Blue Turns deck, which is actually interesting. Game 1, we usually win, and then if they resolve a Chalice on 0, we usually lose. In Game 2, we resolved a Chalice on 0. Game 3 was really cool. Went down to the wire. I actually wish I had it on stream. I beat Dredge once. In Game 1, he actually ended up decking himself. Otherwise, I would have lost. He played a main deck Iona with a main deck not Gifts Ungiven, but Unburial Rites. And he actually resolved that Iona. He didn't know that I had 3 Angel's Graces in hand, so he ended up decking himself. And I cannot remember what the first game was. I want to say it was a green-white something deck, But anyways, time to get rolling here. We will do the friendly league still because packs are worth nothing. So let's fire that up. Start the queue. Hopefully we queue quickly again. We have been. We have been. While that's going on, I guess I can show folks the deck who don't know it. So Ad Nauseam. Here is the namesake card. Maybe. There. All right, so Ad Nauseam allows you to reveal the top card of your library, put that card in your hand, lose life equal to its converted mana cost. You can repeat this process any number of times. Useful card, sees some plays in Legacy. What's it do in Modern? Seems costly, doesn't seem to give you great advantage. Well, when you combine it with Angel's Grace or Phyrexian Unlife, these are basically both cards that, well, this card doesn't allow you to lose the game and allows you to have a negative life total. This card also doesn't allow you, you don't lose the game for having 0 or less life, so you can go to a negative life total, and it essentially lets you draw your entire deck. You'll see the combo in action, hopefully, but the match is going to get going, so let's do that. Okay, this is a perfectly keepable hand. We'd rather not have the lab man in it, but that's okay. Our opponent kept, so yeah, we will also keep. I'm just trying to get my Windows formatted up right, make sure it looks like it's supposed to on the stream. I think it does. Hopefully. Yep, we'll keep. And pass. Yeah, I think you're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing. Bloodstained Mire pass is much better than Bloodstained Mire Thoughtseize. So, no real well, yeah, we actually do want to fire off the sleight of hand to try and find a Lotus Bloom. Well, we've got 4 land, 2 more scries, and one of the lands being a storage land. We definitely, I guess, just want the Angel's Grace. This way, if he does do a discard spell next turn, we have redundancy. He can gladly take one of the 2. And if he's some kind of aggro, could be the this all-in blue-red Kiln Fiend type deck, in which case the Angel's Grace will be very good. I'm thinking that's what this is. I have mixed feelings about this deck. I feel like it's pretty decent against us yet, but I don't know how it's any good against decks that play removal. I mean, we just happen to not play any, so it makes it much better against us. Now, this is unfortunate because we could actually be dead on their turn. And we have the combo. Shucks. So we'd bottom that. We still got to go bottom. Get a white source out there so we can use Angel's Grace next turn. Packed. So next turn we lay down our Unlife. Yeah, we're kind of slow. I think we don't want that either. We need enter the board untapped lands. If we don't die this turn, that would be great. If we don't take a massive damage this turn, that would be great. Because ideally we want to play maybe either the storage land or the temple, and then leave a white source open for Angel's Grace. We want him to be dealing lethal damage next turn, and then we'll play Angel's Grace. Problem is, this deck also plays Bolt, so sometimes if you Angel's Grace go down to 1, they just bolt you on your upkeep. We'll make a decision based on what he does. Normally I'd be feeling pretty good against a blue-red deck, but this blue-red deck is just not the same. We're actually probably pretty far behind here. Which is sad because we have everything we want. Yeah, we might be in trouble. If he's got Teamer Battle Rage, we lose. If he doesn't, we're okay. Yeah, we're dead. Jeez. This deck sucks. Ugh. All right. It's where removal just, what do you do when your opponent just terminates you there? I don't know. All right. Sudden Shock seems okay. Thoughtseize seems okay. Sometimes pulling their win con is good. Now we don't want, because they do play Stubborn Denial, and it's almost always turned on. Ethereal Haze seems okay. Ethereal Haze seems good, actually. But the problem is we got to take cards out. Take out one pact. I don't really want to take out more than one. We'll take out one Spoils because they don't play any kind of discard. One rock. We will swap a Beseiju for an Ophelia Academy because, again, no discard. I feel like we kind of want Slaughter Pact too. That's the problem. It's what do you take out? We want to be fast, so taking out all of our mana seems bad. Unlife just seems really good. Maybe we only need 3. I don't know. It just seems... Well, we can't bring it down till turn 3. Maybe our plan is to, disrupt what they're doing rather than try and live forever. So let's go on one more Unlife. Down Spoils. I think we just have too many cards. We're gonna. I had been bringing in Thoughtseize, but that's before I was playing the Sudden Shocks. So we'll take Thoughtseize out. We have 3 removal spells now. We don't want to go down too many Penhead Prisons too, because we're gonna need some kind of red mana to cast these Sudden Shocks as well. I guess one Lotus Bloom. I guess that's right. That's what we'll try. Yeah, we'll keep this. Finding more lands would be great. Keep Sleight of Hand. I mean, we still need combo pieces too, so we will keep. That might have been very. No, that was probably very wrong. We wanted a land. We do get to draw 2 cards to find a land next turn when we play that Sleight of Hand, but might have been wrong. Swift Spear or Serum Vision? Swift Spear. Well, let him do his worst. Probably just going to be for 1. Yeah, we maybe should have scribed that down. Because now we'll have to turn down got our combo piece, but we're very far from casting it, especially on time. And we're nowhere near being able to Slaughter Pact either. We'll see what our opponent has here. We really needed a land that was... Well, I guess, we would have drawn Lightning Storm, so bottoming that Sleight of hand wouldn't have made an actual difference. Still was probably the correct play. Okay, how icky is this gonna get? Can't sudden shock, can't. I mean, we can slaughter pack, but then we just die. So we can't pay for it. We're one man off from paying for it if we burn our spirit guide. Hopefully he just does that and plays a Kiln Fiend. If he has enough spells, not exactly what we didn't want to see him go wide. But there are worse things. We really need to draw land. All right, opponent, what are we thinking about? Ugh. Angel's Grace is great, but now, I mean, we have to Serum Visions as much as I'd rather leave stuff up. Okay, that's much better. We don't really need either of these. Can actually go off next turn if we don't have to burn a combo piece or our spirit guide. We will have just enough to win. So we can theoretically slaughter pact if we think we're going to win. Like if he taps out and we kill something, because he's probably not expecting removal from our deck. So we have a lot of choices here. It really is going to depend on what he does, but we may squeak out of this. He's got his land. The problem is if he Gitaxian probes, Serum Visions is fine. Yeah, Gitaxian probe is what we're worried about because then he knows not to go all in and save up a counter spell. We can't really spoil us for anything right now because we're going to need all of our mana next turn to go off unless we draw an untapped land. All right, hopefully if he goes all in, taps out, and we can like slaughter pact one of his dudes so we don't die, then we just win. That would be what we want to see. Like if he has Teamer, he like, let's see what he does. Manamorph phase, so hopefully he's setting up to Teamer Battle Rage one of them. We kill it with Slaughter Pact. Because he's tapped out. If we make it through this turn without using Angel's Grace, we're great. Mutagenic Growth, okay. And then hopefully he tries to Teamer that one with the last of his mana. We kill it. Yep. All right, so we should just win. Let him have his Mutagenic Growth. Slaughter Pact it. This does come on, yeah, okay. Just making sure we're on the turn I think we're on. Because we're gonna, I mean, we could win at instant speed on our upkeep, but we don't have to. So we'll go to our main phase just because. For no actual reason other than it's fun to not pay for packs. All right. Out there here. All right, we'll see game 3. We got lucky that we had the right removal. If we had, well, Sudden Shock just wouldn't have worked. Maybe Sudden Shock is good when they're going all in on one Kiln Fiend. You can basically let them use all the pump they want until they use mutagenic growth, like something that's going to bump its toughness. So you let them Morphase and Teamer and all that stuff because it's not bumping its toughness. He does now also see the Sudden Shocks. I feel like 50% of why Sudden Shock is good is because people don't see it coming. But this is just my thing with this deck. Like, we have crap removal and we were still able to get through. Like, I just don't know how they deal with decks that have good removal. Like, how does, I guess this deck, they've got to lose to Jund, I would imagine. Just terminates and bolts and all the good things. Is our opponent gonna, okay, nope. Any difference being on the play? Sudden Shock suddenly worse? I'm going to down 1 Sudden Shock, up 1 Thoughtseize, because if he keeps a 1 Kiln Fiend hand and we can Thoughtseize it on our turn 1, that would feel good. Whereas Sudden Shock, it might not be. Well, that plan would have worked if we would have had a black source. This hand is slow. It does have pseudo combo, hand disruption. Could take the the Teamer Battle Rage or whatever. All we do turn 1 is scry, and then turn 2, at best 2 cantrips, at worst 1 cantrip. He kept his 7. I mean, this isn't an awful hand, but do we need to mulligan this and keep like a Lotus Bloom? I don't know if the long game is what we want to do. I think we have to ship this. This hand is, I guess, better. And we will draw the land. Now it is better. We're hoping for no... oh, maybe he'll skip his play by accident. No. I've done that once. You accidentally yield when you get to play first, and you just pass the turn without doing anything. Not a very good move in Modern. All right, we could be living the dream. If we can Thoughtseize away his one and only Kiln Fiend. If he kept a 1 creature hand, it would feel real good. Otherwise, seems like not the best play. What do we get? Oh boy. Teamer, Gitaxian Probe, Bloodstain Mire, Steam Vents. We'll take your Kiln Fiend. I mean, he's got all the things he needs to try and find another, but Slaughter Pack should be up and going by the time he finds another. I mean, it's technically up as soon as we play a white source because we can Angel's Grace, but we don't want to waste combo pieces to play it. He's played his Steam Vents. And he doesn't want to burn his Gitaxian Probes without pumping something. That's bad for him, but at the same time, Yeah, he also, now he knows about our slaughter pact too, so that makes it worse. But it still puts us in an okay position. And I feel like if he doesn't draw a creature, he probably has to play another probe. I mean, the fact that it's turn 2 and he doesn't have a threat is very good. We really boarded in that Thoughtseize and had it do, ooh, good draw. Now let's find some ramp. Can we find, has ramp? Dreadship Reef is kind of like ramp. Simian Spirit Guide is actual ramp, but I think Reef might be what we want. Now, if, I mean, we absolutely have to, we can slaughter pack, but we shouldn't. He may still not have a creature, but he has 3 unknown cards, so out of his 6. But if he draws a Swift Spear, it's less threatening. This deck is so explosive, anything can be threatening. So we will play the Reef next turn. All right, so only 2 unknown cards. Okay, 1 unknown card. And how much damage does he want to get in with this Monastery Swift Spear? Just 1. So he has a Temur Battle Rage, a Bloodstained Mire, a Taxium Probe. Now, is it better to play this Temple tapped or to start countering? I think we start putting counters on the Reef, because then next turn we can play the Temple, add a counter, and then be ready to go off the turn after that. We have Slaughter Pact that's live at any point. All right, so we saw his Bloodstained Mire. We know he has a Probe and a Temur Battle Rage and 2 more. Does this deck play anything that prevents his creature from dying to Slaughter Pact other than counters? I don't think. Does that mean we want to kill it before it's in Stubborn Denial range? I feel like no, because he can just get it into Stubborn Denial range with our Slaughter Pact on the stack. So now he knows what kind of shape he's in. So he's going to be forced to try and do some kind of shenanigans. So all we know is that he does have the Temur Battle Rage. He's played everything else that we've seen. Oh, I'd really like to win this one. Hopefully he's looking at our hand and just thinking he's beat. I doubt we're just taking 2 here. No, we're just taking 2 here. Well, that's good. charge up the reef. Another temple, doesn't change any of the math. Now we'll have access to 6 mana next turn. Spoils. No, spoils only helps us if we have access to 7 mana next turn. Because our plan is to try and win next turn. And actually our plan is to try and not die this turn. Alright, because we'll have 2 counters on our reef. We can play our gemstone mine untapped. That gives us combo. But he could have counters. You know, we could be more dead than we think. Delta is not a scary card to see. Ideal draw next turn is a Pact of Negation. Because even Stubborn Denial, just as Force Spike, beats us next turn, because we're going to have Exactsies as far as mana is concerned. All right, opponent, what you got? If he somehow taps out without killing us, then we just win. Nah, he's just going to take 1. A lot of cat and mouse here for the foreseeable future in this match. But at any point now, if he taps out, we just win. Spend a Lotus Bloom. We can combo off anytime. So that's 5 cards. It's going to be hard for him to play a creature, though. Well, maybe not. It is the advantage of having cheap spells and a lot of mana. You can still get stuff done while keeping counter magic up. But after this turn, if his counter magic is Stubborn Denial, it's not as good because he'll have to leave pump spells. Bolt is okay. But I mean, he just might have Dispel, in which case we lose. All right. Is he just going to go for it here? What all would he need? I mean, it's possible. He's going to need to have some kind of counter spell for this. I feel like we Slaughter Pact here. Even though we're not, well. No, that could be a trap. Because then he could counter our Slaughter Pact. If he taps this last land, though, then we just Slaughter Pact and win. Is he going to force us? Yeah, now we have to. So 6, because it's 12, which kills us. So does he have it? Nope. Now do we just try and win? I mean, if he had a counter, he would have used it there, right? Yeah, I think we just try and win on our turn. Yeah, because if he has anything other than, like, Stubborn Denial doesn't even work now. Yeah, we're just going to try and win. And if he doesn't have a counter, then he needs to build up a board against us again. I mean, we're in a bad spot if he has a counter, don't get me wrong. I mean, that helps us if we blow it here, but gotta be kidding me. I don't know why he wouldn't have done that on our slaughter pack, though. Oh, he's just fooling around? Because now if he does have a counter, it doesn't matter because we have 2 pack negations. I think our opponent was having some fun with us. It just wouldn't have made any sense for him not to have countered our slaughter pact. Then we have to burn our Angel's Grace. Then we're basically drawing dead to an Angel's Grace for an unlife. We did happen to draw the unlife, just saying, so we wouldn't have, we actually probably still would have won the game. Too much thinking involved to know if we would have absolutely won, but it would have been a hell of a good draw if that would have went down that way, but it didn't. So exile the things. Where is, did I pass it already? No, there it is. Yeah, Dispel was the only card that was going to mess with us because Stubborn Denial doesn't do anything there. Got it. All right. Well, we did better than last week, and it's just game 1. All right, let's fire up the next one. Decent beer. That was an American brown ale. I brew beer, so that came right out of my kegerator. Made it myself. Pretty good, actually. Probably only one, because I would probably be bad at Moto the more I drank. And actually, for someone who brews beer, I don't actually drink alcohol all that often, so kind of odd, but I get together with a bunch of people from work and we all brew beer, so I'm more into the creating it process. I mean, I'll drink from time to time, but usually it's 1 or 2 at a time. Been a while since I've been like drunk. All right, we will play first. Decent hand. And we'll actually keep this, and we're going to lead with the Academy because A, he won't know what we're on. It'll just be a little bit of a mind game, and B, there's no point to lead with anything else because we don't actually have a turn 1 play. So this way, if he's on Jund or something, his Thoughtseize just got way worse. Thank you, Tristan. Yeah, we got lucky with that Thoughtseize. It worked exactly how we hoped it would. Oh, we got to play this deck again? I don't want to play this deck again. We got lucky. This isn't exactly a stellar matchup for us. All right, so this is where being cute and playing your Nephilia Academy turn 1 bites you, because we should be playing a Pentad for 2. We'll see if that's relevant. I think this deck is getting insanely popular because it's ridiculously explosive and it's not very, okay, maybe we're not playing the same thing. Or maybe we are still. They're in Grixis colors, which is, so maybe our turn 1 Academy was actually a good idea. Maybe he does have some. We need to see more things before we know what he's doing now. Well, that's wonderful. We can actually win. Well, it depends what happens to this. Does this get countered? Yep. Spell Snare. The one card it's good against us. That's okay. We could have just won next turn. But against an actual like blue control deck, when we already have combo in hand and a Pact of Negation, I feel really good. Yes, please. Because we have, oh no, we don't have mana to go off. I should have bottomed that. Oops. Maybe he'll Thought Scour me. He did. Or no, he Thought Scoured himself. Snapcaster, probes. All right, we made a mistake keeping that second Pact. I mean, we'll be good to go when we're able to go off. I was thinking we'd go off next turn, but we do not have the right mana to go off next turn. So that was a play mistake on my part. So now as soon as we get a black source down, we win. Even a, I can't see him countering a another Pentad, unless he's got another Spell Pierce, because it is, or not Spell Pierce, but Spell Snare, because I think that's the only card we run that's any good against. All right, he did not his land drop, so that's good for us. Land? No. We could be Drago for a while. It's okay, he has no actual clock yet. I mean, he has a Snapcaster Mage. At some point, I feel like we'll eat a bolt. Gemstone Mine would be the ideal draw. Sleight of Hand is actually okay. We'll take that. Kidding me. I don't really see any reason we need another Ad Nauseam, but I don't really see any reason we need another Seachrome Coast. I mean, we'll take the Coast and play it just for, because eventually here we're going to cast a Simian Spirit Guide if we get enough lands. But hopefully if we're drawing that many lands, one of them is a land that makes us a winner. Yeah, Tristan, we have a good hand. We just need just a black source. I feel like as soon as we get a black source, we're just going to win. A black temple would be less than ideal. Okay, so we're just against Grixis Delver, and they just drew their Delver way late. Dang it! Oh, it's getting just awful. We've drawn all 4 of our Seachrome Coasts, but not one of our Darkslick Shores. So if this Delver flips, he does have an actual clock. I mean, he's still, at this point, with Bolt, Snap, Bolt, shenanigans, we could be closer to dead than we think. Another Delver. Right? He does have 6 cards in hand, so he's got counter magic. I think he knows that we have, thank you, 2 Gemstone Mines. So we will wait for him. He may tap mana for whatever reason, because I doubt there's a world where we lose right now, but yeah, needed double black. That's what we've been waiting for. We've got it now, so so he's not flipping the Delvers. I mean, if he taps anything, maybe we shouldn't have let him get to 6 mana, because now he can cast 3 counter spells. Maybe if he fetches, I think we try and win. Extra Ad Nauseam doesn't help us. We'll pass. And if he fetches, we'll try and win, because it'll force one of his counter spells to be a 1 mana counter spell. So, Dispel. He did not fetch. Let's see what he reveals. Okay, there he's fetched. He's got 5. So yeah, unless he has Dispel, we should win. I don't know how many decks play main deck Dispel. So let's just go for it. We lose here, oops on our part. Hopefully he has like Cryptic. All right, Spell Pierce is a 1-mana counter spell, but fortunately it doesn't matter because we're just going to say okay, and we will pay 2. All right, now even if he has 2 counters, we can, okay, snap. So snap resolves. His counters were bad. We don't even need to use our, well, we do need to use our packs because we would be short 1 Spirit Guide to win, but we have 2 packs, so. Now, does he have a 3rd Spell Pierce? That'd be kind of hilarious if he did. No, okay. Grixis Delver is actually a tough match because, well, it depends how much discard they play. Some of them play a little bit main deck and more in the board. Some of them play no main deck and some in the board, and some don't have any discard at all. So since we saw no discard, my rule of thumb is unless you absolutely know the discard was there, you board, you don't board like you know they're gonna have it. So our hand gets eaten away next game, then it gets eaten away next game. We can't help that. There's also the possibility that the reason we didn't see any discard is because we led with the Nephilia Academy. So. But I also don't know if it's right to keep our pact negations at 3, go up to 4. We'll see. So how do we want to do this? Beseiju comes in. Now, normally in Control, you bring the Beseiju in and you take out the Academy, but maybe we leave the Academy in as our, just in case they do have a lot of discard, we at least have something. We'll take a Plains out because Grixis, yeah, Grixis isn't, if Grixis is running Blood Moon, good for Grixis. Imagine he takes his Spell Snares out. He should. He might not. Do we want to Thought Seize? We'll take 1 rock out. I don't really think we need the Echoing Truth against Grixis. It's not there are better things. So we're debating between this Thought Seize or this Pact of Negation, or if we should take out a Phyrexian Unlife and bring them both in. Let's do that. This is a hard matchup to board for because now watch him just wreck us with turn 1 Inquisition followed by turn 2 Thoughtseize. This is a good hand. It only lacks the Ad Nauseam, and he's mulliganed, so let's hope for the best. He kept his 6th and bottomed. That's a great start. That's good too. Gonna bottom this because I have to, and turn 2 Collected Brutality or something is gonna make us sad. Nope. Young Peasy's okay. Hopefully we'll have the job done before he becomes relevant. Spoils is fair. I'd like to scry here because we have a lot of enter the board not tapped lands, but We just need to get our mana. And then I don't know if we want to Beseiju next turn or Scry next turn. Right now we want to Scry because we have a Pact. You miss a land drop because that'd just be great. He's Thought Scouring himself. Sometimes I don't know if opponents realize how good Thought Scour, the Ad Nauseam player, is, because he could inadvertently hit very important things of ours, like win cons. I mean, we do play 2, so it would be unlucky for us. Are we going to see Tasker? I would certainly give him a quick clock. And we're not going to be able to spoils for Ad Nauseam because we won't have enough mana. We just draw Ad Nauseam. Be great. Yeah, I think we're going to see either Tasker or the fish. Or not. Yeah, there he is. Kept his Dispel, so Snap Dispel is probably a thing. All these temples. Drop one of them. There it is. Potentially can win next turn. With one Pact, I feel good if he like taps any kind of lands. If he doesn't, we still have to play the Gemstone. Like, I would like to play the Beseiju. Now the only thing we lose to is double Dispel. Or Dispel's Spell Pierce. He's going to do 8, probably 9, 10, 11 with a bolt. The question is, like, do we let him try and bolt us? Nah, you know, we're going to make him have it. If he has 2 1-mana counter spells, good for him. I think this is the right move. Letting him untap just seems like the wrong move. Like, hopefully we see Remand. Good game. All right, we got it. All right, 2 for 2. Yeah, I feel like that's an okay play. Like, I do like to know 100% they're not going to be able to beat me, and that left a small amount of uncertainty. But you have to ask yourself, what are the odds that he's got 2 1-mana counter spells, knowing that one of his dispels is in the graveyard, versus the odds that we let him untap, we let him draw a land, then he has 2 counter spells up, and we're a turn away from dying. And I just felt like the odds are definitely less likely that he's got 2 1-mana counter spells. One more here. Okay. I get somewhat perturbed when opponents make me run through the combo when it's when the match is essentially over. If you want to like study my deck while I'm comboing off like game 1 or game 2, if it's not going to be game 2 ending the game, they're just hoping you make a mistake. But you know, everyone's entitled to that. I don't generally do it. But then again, people get ticked off at me sometimes for making them go through combos because they don't realize that I have an Angel's Grace. So certain decks that have lengthy combos, especially, like there are some versions of eggs still going around, and people will play all these things, and I have to make them play it out because some of those win with an Emrakul, which, you know, I can't stop. But other of those play like everything to play one big burn spell, and then you just Angel's Grace, and then you can sometimes win. So I hate to make people do it, but sometimes you have to make them combo out. Like in like that taking turns deck I played earlier today, sometimes you have to make them go through turn after turn after turn, because if you have a couple of Angel's Graces available and you have the mana, sometimes they will actually deck themselves before they kill you. So they get ticked. They're like, why aren't you just conceding? Well, unfortunately, because of Angel's Grace, there is a world where I'm not dead. But, you know, if I had like a deck that wasn't that way, I would concede to most combos. I would concede the Nauseam combo after I saw their deck, of course. Auto mulligan, because no land. Ugh, yuck. Is this better than a random 5? I guess. Yeah, that helps. Unfortunately, we won't get it till turn 2. We cannot lead with the Academy here. I have to do this, and maybe I don't know. Then we still are off a turn casting sleight of hand. I think that's the way to do it, because we know what we're drawing. We spend our Lotus Bloom, puts us a turn back, but then we still have to find the entire combo. We have pseudo combo here. We have like pseudo ramp here. We don't even know what our opponent's on yet, so that's going to let us know how wrecked we are. What are we doing, opponent? Oh, we're cycling street rates and we're down to 13. So this is going to be the actual like suicide. It's also not a great matchup for us. This one's a little easier to board for, but being a turn late on Lotus Bloom is horrible here. Just horrible. Well, that's something. And then they do play Thoughtseize, so this is going to be tough, though. We're pretty far behind. It just depends how they're going to win. I'm imagining they do 3 to 5 more damage to themselves and then play Death Shadow and then beat us the next turn with some Become Immense, Team or Battle Raid, something like that. Seize our Hand of Jank. Yeah, I just don't think we're ever going to see that Lotus Bloom come down. Ideally, we need to draw either a white source or a Phyrexian Unlife this turn, and then the next turn, and through some act of God not be dead. If we can make all of that happen, then we can win. Boarding here is like, this is one of the few decks that third Ethereal Haze would have been really good, but that we took out for a sudden shock. It's doing all the damage. Every now and then you beat this deck by simply casting a Lightning Storm on them, like before comboing off. Yeah, so I don't see how we live through next turn. I'm not sure like what the draw is that saves us. And we are so far from that Lotus Bloom. All right, so this does open up like possibilities. Just we need a lot of things to go right, so we're gonna have to spoils. See now, if he goes down any more life, we can spoils for our Lightning Storm. and try and win that way. I mean, we only have one Lightning Storm, so if it's in the top 16 cards, we would win. The other option is to spoils for an Angel's Grace. That probably is within the top 16 cards, and then hope to draw a Phyrexian Unlife next turn, and then we're still not in great shape. Right now, he's hitting us for 11. And I'm sure he's got something to bump him to lethal, right? Does that do it? Not yet. But now the Teamer Battle Rage, right? The Bolt. All right, so that does it. All right, I feel like we're gonna spoil for the Lightning Storm. If it's in the top 16 cards and he doesn't have any lands, or he doesn't understand, or no, so it's not enough because he has 4 life, not 3. So no, that's stupid. So we won't do that. Take this. Yeah, he would have needed to have damaged himself one more for that plan to work. If we had a land in hand, then yes, but I actually should have done the spoils then before the Bolt resolved, because now we only have the top 13 cards to see the Angel's Grace. Thinking it matters very little. That was on top of our library. There you have it. Doesn't unfortunately make any difference. Now, if we are lucky enough to draw into Phyrexian Unlife, we still don't win because he can beat us with double strike. Yeah, there's a lot of ways we can still lose here, or probably will still lose here. So go to 1. At least he can't bolt us on his upkeep. Too bad. It does nothing. It gives us the opportunity to draw our 3rd Angel's Grace next turn. It does keep us alive, gets our bloom to drop, but all that means very little. And it doesn't actually, he may just bolt us on upkeep. If I would have, I could have spoiled for Unlife main. And then it would have cost me 1 Simian Spirit Guide to play it. That might have been a little bit better, yeah. Well, let's see if he unnecessarily does anything. Yes, he will tilt as hard as humanly possible if I somehow manage to play an Angel's Grace next turn. But I have a feeling we're just getting bolted on upkeep. I think we're already dead. Not getting bolted on upkeep. That Nauseam. Yeah, we should lose. Because there's nothing we can even cast Ad Nauseam for. Unlife didn't win there, but it might have made us a winner. Problem is, he could double strike us, which would have, so Unlife would have made us a winner if he didn't have a Teamer Battle Rage, but he, and we were very far from an Unlife. Looks like Unlifing with our spoils would have not been great either. Against this opponent, now he'll probably board in some kind of discard, but I feel like that's the wrong. We want 2 Ethereal Hazes, Thoughtseize to pick off whatever he boards in. Slaughter Pact would be good if Death Shadow wasn't black. We'll do 1 Echoing Truth, that's fine. Down just 1 pack or 2. We'll go down 2 packs. And we want the land to be quick. I'll go down 1 spoils. See what happens. I didn't have enough mana to get both Simian Spirit Ghost cards down. I don't think he'll go to 6+ discard. They don't usually play Inquisition. I mean, do they play Collective Brutality now? There's a hand. We'll keep it. Because I don't think they play Inquisition or Kozilek. I think they just play the Forethought Seizes. And some of them don't even play that. Oh, you meant to like break the Lotus Bloom and play it. Yeah, I could have done that. We'll just play the Scryland. Bottom the Reef. Now, even if he does have discard, we have ultimate redundancy. Goblin Guide. That's not how this one usually works. That's all right, though. What did we reveal? Serum Vision. That's a fine card to reveal. And it's also good because it'll ramp us past some lands if that has to happen. All right, that's actually a decent draw. So we'll bottom one of these lands, but we'll top this one. Even though we don't need it, we'll top it because it's free. And then we'll get a Scry next turn because we don't need to unlife anytime soon because we have double Angel's Grace. Yeah, I don't think this deck usually plays Goblin Guide, but free land. Thanks, Goblin Guide. Yeah, we'll actually play that land though to get the Scry. He bet Shock Death Shadow. Kiln Fiend. Okay. This is a different build. Don't really want that Spirit Guide. Do really want that ad nauseam. Okay, so we should win next turn. I can't conceivably think of anything that beats us. Well, discard an Angel's Grace and then make us play an Angel's Grace both in this turn. I don't think he can do that. I don't think he it's hard to beat this deck on the play or on the draw. I mean, he may think he's about to kill us here. Now he knows what we're drawing. And now the 15,000 pump spells. Teamer's the Fiend. So he's 10-ing us. Now he's just killing us. But we're going to win instead. And this should Should provide a little bit of salt that we had 2 Angel's Graces. Now, with him already using a teamer, I feel like Phyrexian Unlife is probably a winning play also, but yeah, he knows now because he saw the thank you, guy. I like this opponent. Any changes? I don't think so. I think we like that. Slaughter Pact might be better. It doesn't hit Death Shadow, but it does hit literally everything else he had. Do we swap that for Echoing Truth? Because it's free removal. It would have absolutely wrecked what he did last turn. But they, I don't know, they play that. Yeah, Sinuri, but his build looks very different. It's leaning heavier on red creatures. I'm not going to board ley lines in. I just don't think it's the right play. Because I'd have to board out everything else I've boarded in to board in ley lines. I feel like my best defense against his, I've got the one of Academy. I can Thoughtseize his Thoughtseize, but yeah, his version's just weird. The only change I'm considering making is bringing in Slaughter Pact. I would board out Echoing Truth because I don't think he's going to have any other problem permanents. I think Echoing Truth is just a, wreck house if he has two Swift Spears. Just Echoing Truth is never dead, and Slaughter Pact is going to be sometimes dead. So let's leave Echoing Truth in. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sinuri. Again, he's very much favored being on the play. His hand is so slow, but it has the combo. I can't say no. He's already mulled 6, so that's good too. Now watch him wreck us with Thoughtseize / Inquisition. Thoughtseize I'm expecting. Like he's got to have Thoughtseize, right? Well, Pented Prism would be best possible draw. We will lead with the white one. Top that. He might not even have the Thoughtseize just because this build is so weird. The actual, fast mana is what we need. The actual build that, like the typical one that doesn't play Goblin Guides, I'm wondering if Goblin Guide is in the Thoughtseize spot. He would have to have them in the board, though. I mean, he's got to. He might not have them in his hand. A Thoughtseize would be not good for us. And for a mulligan, seems like he's going to be pretty quick anyways. Killing Fiend could potentially kill us next turn, so we can't actually tap this white source. Do we really have to go Temple Pass? Here's the thing with Temple Pass. All right, if we do Temple Pass and he pumps his Fiend up enough to make us have to do our Angel's Grace, we're losing that game anyways. That game we lose because then what do? We've used our Angel's Grace. We are going to. Well, we can Sleight of Hand and then play our Seacrum Coast. I guess let's see what we find with Sleight of Hand. Imperial Haze, that changes everything. So now we play this Seacrum Coast. And I know that slows our mana down even more, but what we hope for is he goes all in this turn, thinking he's going to take us down to 1 with Angel's Grace and then bolt us or something. But now if he goes all in, we haze, we take no damage, and he wastes all his pump. We really need a Pennant Prism. It would be very good. Simian Spirit Guide would even be okay, but we really want the Pennant Prism. All right, let's see what he does. Like, because I don't think this deck, maybe he's doing, Haze is a very dirty card. I love it. If he just swings one, that would just be stellar. What gets confusing is if he like half comes at us. All right, that was what we wanted. That is very much what we wanted. See, now he's going to go all in next turn, and we're still going to take no damage. We may just get out of this. Plains is all right because it comes in untapped. So at this point, there's no reason to play the coast. Let's get these black sources in. Let's do some scrying. Simian Spirit Guide would be okay. Pennant Prism would be better. Well, I mean, we have 6 lands. We don't need this Dark Slick Shore. There are better cards. All right, and we just have to hope he literally dumps everything at us here. Ah! That's awful. Knew it had to be there. All right, so the question is, I think... So he's already doing 8. Obviously, if we haze now, he just stops playing cards this turn, kills us next turn. By the way, takes our Angel's Grace, but I could just take our Ad Nauseam too. I think we have to haze now. Yeah, we do still have spoils next turn, so we're gonna play E-Haze, and then I think the right move for him is to take Angel's Grace. Maybe it's not. Maybe the right move is to take Ad Nauseam because we have Angel's Graces plus we have Phyrexian Unlifes where we only have... Oh no, he took the Grace. Maybe he didn't see us play the Ethereal Haze, and he will continue to pump his Kiln Fiends. Yeah, so he took the Ad Naus, which that's probably the better choice, because we have, I mean, the Angel's Grace. That, I don't know, we have more effects like that than we do Ad Nauseams. Either way, it's bad for us. So, yeah, he won't even attack. So he'll be killing us this coming turn. We spoils for Unlife now. That is... The problem with that is that does not keep us alive to Temur Battle Rage, but I don't think that matters because our other choice is to see if he can cast enough things for lethal, and if he can, then spoils for another Grace. He has 4 cards. If one of them is Temur Battle Rage, we just lose. Well, we don't necessarily die anyways because we could spoil on his turn for an Angel's Grace, but that could go bad too, only having 3 Angel's Graces. There's only 1 Ethereal Haze, so spoiling for that just seems wrong. Yeah, I think spoiling for Unlife, hope he doesn't have Temur is really the only plan. And then we still aren't guaranteed to win. We only lost our Thoughtseize, so... But yeah, Temur Battle Rage beats us. Hope for the best. Wish we had a Pact Negation, still wouldn't even be good. Yeah, his Thoughtseize was just what he needed. Well, one of his cards is a land. That doesn't scare us. Unfortunately, we still don't win Oh, now we just lose. Unless he has all lands, which I'm just doubting is the case. Well, then we might not die here. Yeah, now we die. Yeah. Nothing we could do. Yeah, that Thoughtseize wrecked us. Oh, too bad. What was on top? Oh no, another Unlife was on top. So I guess that wouldn't have made a difference because we'd be at a negative life total. So yeah, so we still lose even if he doesn't Destructive Revelry, providing he brought us into negative life, which I'm assuming he would have. Be that as it may. Yeah, well, spoiling for Grace doesn't necessarily work there either because first of all, we know we're going to exile two Phyrexian Unlife. So we spoil for Grace, we go to 1. He could bolt us on our upkeep. Even if we make it to our upkeep, then we must draw an Angel's Grace or an Unlife. Meanwhile, we already spoiled 2 Unlifes, so... Yeah, no, man, not inactive. I just haven't had a lot of time. I'm on a break from school, so trying to do it every Saturday and Sunday. But I'm working full time, school full time, and less than 1 year old. So no promises when I can stream, but I try. Yeah, we just needed mana is what we needed. Well, even if we play Artifact mana, he had that Destructive Revelry, so. Do you mean Visions was too weak to play there, or too weak as a card to play at all? No, if we cast Serum Visions there, we can't then spoils, but leave spoils plus Grace, but I don't know. The way our deck was positioned, oh yeah, play there. I agree, Sonuri. Yeah. Card, unfortunately, is the best cantrip in Modern. It's such a, compared to what's available in Legacy. I feel like if Ponder was a card in Modern, Ad Nauseam would play 4 of them. If Brainstorm was a card, Ad Nauseam would play 4 of them. I think we would play any of the better cantrips. Yeah, I really do like Ad Nauseam. Ponder. Yeah, the reason we lost was mana. We couldn't not keep the hand, but we needed to draw it. We needed to scry with our scry lands. We needed to find Pentad Prisms. All right, let's see what we're up against here. We'll keep this hand, and we will just Temple Pass. Yeah, I understand why the better cantrips can't be cards. But, oh, the fun. Yeah, we'll keep that. All right, so depending what our opponent's on, we're doing well against a unknown opponent. Dang, we're playing is aggressive turn 3 decks. Unlife is very good, but we can't cast it until our turn 3, and we could be dead on our turn 3, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, Brainstorm would be so awesome. We would have to play fetch lands, though, and I love not playing fetch lands, especially in paper, because I never shuffle, and that's nice. But in order to get Brainstorm, I would gladly shuffle. So we'll bottom that. We will actually keep the Spirit Guide because it's like pseudo ramp. Hate to waste the scry on a temple, but we have to do that too because we don't want anything else coming in tapped, and we don't necessarily need to scry it. We've got everything we need. Yeah, Storm player. Storm would be quite a bit better. All right, as long as he's not. Oh wait, yeah, no, we're gonna get our. I'm getting confused. We're on the play, so we will resolve our unlife before he kills us. Though, if he teamers for enough, I don't think he's killing us on his turn. Yeah, that's true. These blue-red fast lands. I don't know if that's what pushed this deck over, the deck we're playing against now, because we've played it twice, or if it just made it better. And see, now he's holding up counter magic. I don't think we can not play. If he tries to force spike us, we have the Spirit Guide. And then we can win next turn. All right. I don't know how many counter spells this deck plays main. All right, we are not playing against the deck I thought we were playing against. Because I don't think they play Snapcaster. So now we're only going to try and win next turn if our... Oh, we can't win next turn because we don't have enough black sources. I need to start paying attention to that. The Reef was a misplay. Should have been a Gemstone Mine. Because we win. We literally win if I would have played my lands correctly. Our opponent is also just playing god-awful horrible with Electrolyze main phase, tap out. Oh, yeah, we have a gem. God, yeah, we do. We're fine. I'm sorry. We definitely have 2 black. I forgot we're going to play another land. All right, we win. I swear I only drank 1 beer. You guys all saw it. There was just 1. Thank you, opponent. I love the people that just concede. All right, so yeah, this is like yes, 1 beer. I swear. Look, just 1. It was homebrew and it was 8%, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so this is more of a tempo deck. His play was just like very poor there too, to tap out like that. I don't understand why he's doing that. So we'll put in the extra pact. We'll swap the Seiju for Academy because he's not in a discard color. Thoughtseize to Thoughtseize away his counter spells. I think that's all we want. It was an American Brown Ale, but a higher gravity one. It probably wasn't. It was probably supposed to be 8%, but we didn't hit our efficiency quite right. So yes, I'm still having nightmares from the 5-0 that, no, we didn't manage to throw it away. I threw it away. You guys knew exactly what to do, and I screwed it up. So I take full responsibility on that. We'll go down 1 Pented Prism because Artifact Destruction is a thing. And then do we go down 1 Unlife or 1 Spoils? Spoils can work as a pact. It can find us what we need. But we'll go down 1 Unlife this round. But that... yeah, that's what we'll do. Our game plan here is to win with a Lotus Bloom. Yeah, we'll keep this. We would like slightly faster mana, but this deck doesn't always have to beat us quickly. I would send you a bottle, but it's all in a keg, so you'd have to come here and get it. I keg most of my homebrew because it's ready so much quicker. So when you bottle it, you got to wait like a minimum of 2 weeks in the bottle, but the longer you wait, the better. I usually, when I bottle my beer, I don't crack them in any quantity till like a month. Like I'll try one like after 2 weeks, and I'll try one after 3 weeks, and then after a month I'll start cracking them regularly. But when you keg it, it can be ready. Ooh, good draw. It can be ready like honestly a few days after it goes into the keg. Yeah, we'll take that back to negation. All right, so we're like an ad nauseam away from being pretty good. Yes, I am in the United States. I'm in Ohio. We got nothing better to do here than brew beer. Beer brewing, I kind of got into. I bought a kegerator, and I was buying like when you buy like a big keg and you're not having a party, it literally lasts forever. I mean, it's 110 beers. And when like even if you get something you really like, once you've had 110 of them, you don't want them anymore. So you can buy smaller kegs, and I was doing that for a while, and then finally I was like, why don't I brew my own? One of my buddies had done it once, like in his house, and so we bought some more like the proper stuff to do it with, and kind of got into it. It's pretty fun. I've brewed many batches at this point, and now like I stopped doing it for several years, but then all my friends at work, there's this place called the Brew Kettle where you can go and like pay to brew beer, and it's kind of lame in my opinion because you're just like paying to brew a specific style that like every other person who goes up to the Brew Kettle pays to brew. So I thought it was more cool. I was like, well, I have all the stuff. We can brew beer at my house, and people have really gotten into it. So, my Christmas beer was a hit. I just called it Xmas beer, and I put labels on it with just duct tape that I wrote Xmas beer on. It was really good. I still have. Well, I gave a lot away because people really like that, but I think I still have probably 12 or 13 of them left. What is this guy doing? Like, I get he wants to pump his Swift Spears, but he is saying, like, if you got it, you win, which unfortunately we don't. So it's actually going to work out in his favor unless we top deck ad nauseam. But he's living very dangerously. So, spoils. So we don't die next turn. I hope we don't die in his turn. Delver, don't flip. Delver flipped. So now we might be dying on his turn. Because if we can Angel's Grace spoils on our turn, I feel okay. But he's got 4 cards. We have to be. We're gonna. Well. Just take 5. Any spell though. Like I'm guessing it's going to be Bolt. Helix. Unfortunately, if we could just pact the Helix and not die, that would be wonderful, but we can't. Yeah, unfortunately, his poor play is working out in his favor here. If Delver wouldn't have flipped, we could be playing Pact of Negation instead of Angel's Grace. Or no, we can still Pact. Math is easy. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to Pact this, go to 2, Grace on upkeep. And we'll have a lot of land because we get this bloom, right? Yeah. And then draw a card. We will not Serum Visions. And Spoils of the Vault for Ad Nauseam. Ugh. Okay, well, we're still going to win. That was fortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only need to spend 5. And we're going to win with Labman because we ditched many lands. But that's fine. We'll win with Labman. So we'll play this Plains. Yeah, I don't know what our opponent was doing. Like he must not play counters. And I guess bluffing the counters didn't seem like the right thing to do to him or for him. But why is Delver not playing counters? Or at least boarding counters in? Maybe he plays them and just didn't have them and again just thought that bluffing them was not the right play. Yeah, that's why Spoils is so good. Like, as Sonuri said, we would have needed to been incredibly unlucky on our Spoils to not win there. I think our opponent is reading laboratory. Like he probably didn't know what we were doing. We did exile what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands, 9, 10, 11. We had 12 played, but he was down to 14, so we still could have killed him. He probably, I mean, if he had 3 lands in his hand, he might have been able to kill us, but I mean, there was no way we were losing with the lab man, so that's why we did it that way. Last matchup. Let's see if we can get there. So I have had a couple of decks bring Sudden Shock in against me. It was a white-red. It was a weird deck. It was white-red. It played Thalia. It was like a humans deck, but then it also ran Thalia and Pithing Needle and Leyline of Sanctity, Faithless Hour. It was a real weird deck. But anyways, how he ended up beating me was getting a Pithing Needle or getting in a Leyline down, which I usually think is just a horrible strategy against us. And then when I go to win, he sudden shocked my Laboratory Maniac and just beat me. So game 3, I boarded in an Echoing Truth as well, and same thing happened. He had the ley line out, and I was able, or I think for whatever reason, I think I spoiled away. Yeah, I did. I spoiled away my Lightning Storm, so he was able to again sudden shock my lab man. Well, we will keep this decent hand. It's got the mana. It has no combo, but it's got a Scryland and a Serum Vision. So play here is to Temple, Bloom, and then Serum Visions next turn. There's half the combo. Thank you, deck. Let's see what we're up against. Scape Shift or Titan Shift, both of which are favorable matches. I don't know which I'd rather play, the one with blue or the one without blue. I feel like they're both, the one without blue our shorter matches, but we're still favored. We don't even want this, either of these. We just want cards named ad nauseam at this point. But we're gonna be in a pretty good spot when we will unlife next turn, so we can actually live through his combo if he gets to his combo. I'm guessing it's the Titan Shift version. I haven't seen Blue Scape Shift in a while. The way Blue Scape Shift beats you is if they play Bring to Light and then they Bring to Light for slaughter games. So always pact their Bring to Light, even if you're like, why are they Bring to Lighting? They can't even Scape Shift. Well, because they're going to slaughter games you. Double Pact of Negation is whatever. I mean, it's live because we can Grace if we have to. I don't know what I guess if he played a land and a Simian Spirit Guide and tried to play an Emrakul through a, is that going to happen? He double Spirit Guided. Wait, what happened here? Yes. I had to turn off my auto yield. Yeah, I don't think Bring to Light Scape Shift's very good either. So yeah, we packed this. Absolutely we packed this. We will burn our Angel's Grace. I think this buys us more turns than not pacting it. I don't think we pay for pact either. I don't think that makes any sense. Nah, why waste the bloom? And draw ad nauseam? No, that's okay. No, he cannot remove Unlife. Main deck. When I thought he was going to try and Through the Breach, but this is going to be the Through the Breach version if he's playing Simian Spirit Guide, because I don't think the regular version plays that. I'm okay with Serum Visions. Finding Spoils. I guess depending on what he does, we may Spoils at the end of his turn. He would have to do something like play Titan. Now he can hard cast a Titan. Summoner's Pact for a Titan, that's fine. So he gets his Titan. I'm not going to pact here. But it doesn't even kill us next turn, does it? Because he's going to go a Valakut and a Mountain. So next turn, he can get 2 mountains and hit us for 8, swing for 6. Yeah, I don't. Or do we just Spoils here? Because the only thing that beats us is. I don't want to go for it main. I want to do the Spoils. Yeah, I think at most he's going to hit for 18. If he has Bolt, he wins. But if I Spoils main, I'm 1 mana shorter. So this way, if I exile too much, yeah, I would definitely spoil end step if I'm going to spoil. I think I'm just going to do it because you know what? If ad nauseam is 18 cards deep, or so far deep that it spoils away too many things, we're losing anyways. Yeah, that is true. I can pack this Bolt. That's right, Crackers. Yeah, we can see one more turn. I think we can safely do this. And yeah, that gets us 1 more land out on the field. Makes us in better shape. And we can try and spoils at instant speed too if we made a goof. Oh, he's got to pay this, yeah. And I guess that doesn't change anything. Well, it stops him from playing like another Titan. That could change the math. If he has a mountain in hand, if he has a Valakut in hand, that would be bad. Doesn't appear to. All right, yeah, so he's going to grab 2 mountains. Yeah, so he should do 18 damage. And then, like you guys said, if he bolts, we pact. Yep. Oh, we still don't even die to bolt because we have Phyrexian Unlife. So he needs to, once again, someone did not wear their thinking cap tonight, and that someone is me. We're still gonna spoils on his end step. That's not going to change. Oh, is he gonna escape shift here? No. Search for tomorrow's. Yeah, we're going to let this resolve. We're not going to play the pact because I want to be able to go to my main step if I have to next turn. I'm not sure. Yeah, another draw nets us nothing. So yeah, let him have his search for tomorrow's. He'll take us into negative, which is fine. So we're at 3 poison. Now he spoils. And if Ad Nauseam was super deep, we were going to lose anyways. It was not that deep, and we went through nothing. So, okay. Now we should go to our turn and win. Yay! Pact and Negation backup for super secret main deck enchantment removal tech because everybody at his local game store plays Ad Nauseam. It's the one thing that I don't like about my local game store is lots of people play Ad Nauseam. So people board silly things because they know they're going to face it at least once every night. So you find white decks that board in their own copies of Angel's Grace and just laugh at you. Occasionally I'll bring like a troll deck to play the other Ad Nauseam players. I'll bring like the white-black Eldrazian taxes that just literally wrecks Ad Nauseam. Infect is, I actually don't have Infect or Jund, but they're both good ones. I actually personally, given the choice between Infect, Jund, or Eldrazian taxes, I would choose to face Eldrazian taxes last. I think it is our absolute worst matchup. Because even like a deck like 8-Rack, which is pretty shit for us, we can still, you know, if we get lucky with ley lines, we can beat that deck. Eldrazian taxes is just so hard. Because even if you get your ley line, then they just wreck you with Thalia and Land and Arbiter. Thoughtseize is okay here. He doesn't play counter spells or discards, so when that happens, I just leave the Academy in because it comes into play untapped. Yeah, I've only beaten Eldrazian taxes like a finite number of games, not even matches. I think I've beaten in a match maybe once or twice, but usually it's hard for me to even steal one game. No, they have so much discard. No, they get you with their discard. They play 8 main deck discard spells and then more on the board. Is Leyline good in this matchup? That's a great question. Sometimes I feel like Leyline is awesome here. Other times I feel like it's not as good. So Thoughtseize is great because sometimes they have like all the ramp in one payoff card. You just take their payoff card. Pact is actually not great. So we'll go down one, even though it saved our butt last game. Now, I still don't know if they have Through the Breach or not. Four ley lines, though, that means we have to take four things out. What I've done in the past, because I'm okay ditching one Unlife and one Pentad, I've boarded in two ley lines because they don't wreck us. They don't play discard, which is the main reason for a ley line. Do we take out two other things? What else? Yeah, ley line is win more here. They do usually kill with Valakutes. Like, a ley line is good, but they also do bring in enchantment removal. Sometimes that's nice because you bait them with Leyline and they use their enchantment removal and then your Unlife is good. I'm going to try this particular mixture. I don't think Slaughter Pact is that great. This is the only matchup where I don't board in 4 or 0 Leylines. The only one. We'll keep this. Hopefully draw into some fast mana. We have the Reef, but the Reef's going to be too slow, especially if he's playing the version with Spirit Guides. All right, there's ramp. Get another colored land? No, but we will take more ramp. We definitely don't want the Lab Man, so all right. We're in okay shape. We probably won't put a charge counter on the Reef because we want to play these cantrips. Yeah, Eldrazi and Taxes is so hard. Like if you're beating somebody consistently, they're either not playing the version that's usually out there with 8 main deck and discard spells and more on the board, or they're poor at it. Anytime I've played it, I've absolutely wrecked ad nauseum. I mean, oh boy, keeps getting better. We just want. All right, we'll keep this land on top, though. Do we want a Pact for any reason? I don't think we do. But I mean, what else do we need? Might as well. No, well, what are we going to do? We're going to suspend another Bloom, play our Dreadship Reef. We've got. Do we want to draw a Pact? No, I don't think we care. Rid of that. I think if he plays something, we're not going to have the Pact in time. Or maybe we did want that. Yeah, and Rich. No. Oh! Didn't play my land. We needed to make our land drop. We needed that. Oh, I'm so bad. Oh, and he's got a Titan. Oh, so bad. What luck, though, for him to Through the Breach. If he's got Emrakul, then all of it meant nothing. Oh, no, he had Titan, so he's going to 18 us, but we can't even play our Angel's Grace. We're about to... Yeah, that's true. I don't have anything. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end up having to play Pendant Prism on 1 so we can Angel's Grace next turn because he beats us with Mountain or Bolt. All right, Seacrum Coast is good, so this way we can use our Serum Visions. I don't know what we're Serum Visioning. I guess another Angel's Grace because we're going to have to Angel's Grace on his turn almost for sure. Serum Visions. Phyrexian Unlife it is. We're going to get out of this. Wow. All right, so we grace. What kills us is something on our upkeep. If we can't get past our upkeep, we lose. So he's got to pay his pact, which he has no trouble doing. So if he has a mountain here and then a bolt in hand, we lose. What is he doing now? All right, so search for tomorrow. Gets his 2 triggers, but we will Angel's Grace. And now it just comes down to the bolt. So me forgetting the land drop doesn't make a difference. I mean, we'd still be dead to bolt. He has 2 cards in hand. If one of them is lightning bolt, then it's on to game 3. And even with unlife, there may be some combinations where we still lose. You could also have a destruction spell for that. All right. Yeah, if he's got like an Nature's Claim or something, that all kills us. Yeah, Leyline is still win more. I know it would have been clutch here, but we may get out of this. At this point, he's got to have enchantment removal. Or this doesn't kill us. Because he can't attack with it. So I think we won. Yeah, I think we're good. Unless he also has enchantment removal. Then we're dead. No, he took 2 Valak hits. Oh. So he's got to be able to make both land drops. Because we're going to be at 9 poison. So it just depends what's in his hand. He can play another. Or did he Farseek? Oh yeah, I think we're still okay. Does he have Bolt? Last card, Bolt. Did we get there? Last card. Ah, we got there. Hooray. All right, guys. Much better than the 05 from last week. So I don't think there was any way he could have won. What does that do? So he gets only a Valakut and a mountain. He does 3 triggers. Yeah, I guess that does win. Thanks, opponent. We'll take it. Yeah, he had 3 Valakuts, so if he would have gotten. Yeah, I think you guys are right. So Valakut and a mountain. Yep. Sorry, guy. We'll take it. So our only loss. Which one did we lost to? The regular Zoicide or the blue Zoicide? I don't even remember. We beat It was all aggro decks basically, which generally are not our best matchups, but not our worst. So we want to find, like, we want to play against like control matchups, other combo decks. Like this deck is kind of a combo deck, but we have definite advantage against this deck. So 4-1, yay. Probably will stream tomorrow about the same time. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so. I will, like I said, probably at least for the foreseeable future, month and a half while I'm on a break from school, I should be able to stream once, maybe even twice a week. So definitely be getting in some more ad nauseam games. I need to play a second deck. I just have kind of realized that I don't competitively play any other deck. There are plenty of decks that I play at FNM. The only other deck I have built on Moto right now is like a Madcap Blood Moon deck, which isn't that good. So maybe we'll tear that apart and do something else. But in the meantime, still be doing the ad nauseam. Thank you guys for joining, and possibly see y'all tomorrow.